As we walk up to there, Kyron would like to cast a buff or two. Or all of them.
All of the buffs.
Just in case.
Just in case.
Well, Cash will cast one buff.
On level 2, that's level 1, and that should be fine actually. Yeah.
I don't think there's any buffs that I want to cast.
You don't really need anyone. I mean, look at your damn stats.
I could
You
cast,
are one huge walking buff.
Actually,
By
yes.
the way, I have to say I'm quite happy with my new AC. By the way,
Which is?
1
32.
buff up, 32. It's not bad.
From inside, you hear an answer, what sounds like a rather strained woman's voice. By the gods, we will fight to the death if you charge this manor. There are a good 50 veteran soldiers in here. You will stay away, fiends. You've had enough of your goblins and buckbears. I will not stand for this.
Zacharias quirks an eyebrow.
You insult us.
We do not.
Goblins will not be our minions.
We don't need to storm a gate. We can just, like, Zacharias, slowly floats up in front of it, lulling his cloak and coat sort of billow effectively behind him. We are no common looters, madam. We are the Whispering Lords. We are quite powerful, and 50 soldiers, he shrugs. I wouldn't break a sweat even. No. So I am Zacharias Wraith. So let's try this again. Who commands here? Sort of floating up in the air before the gates.
I am Baroness Venya of Verin, and this is my home manor.
You can't get in, Marcus.
Baroness Vanya of Verin. Does Zacharias know anything about the Verins?
Zacharias could roll a history check.
Alright.
Oh.
Tell me about
Yes,
the Verins.
now that Zacharias hears this series as well, although barely, you'll remember that that was actually a family that was leading Davrin some years back, quite a few years back, but they were pushed away from the position by the new Baron.
Oh.
Would much rather have the position. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Well, Zacharias smiles and says, "Ah, the House of Verin. Well, Baroness." He smiles again and says, "Ah, yes, now it becomes so clear to me. Your family ruled this city once upon a time, did it not? And now you were pushed out by the former Baron." He shrugs. "And judging by your words and looking at your walls, it seems that you didn't commit much of your house guard to the defense of the city." He smiles. "Ah, a prudent decision, of course. The fire axe troops have decimated the whole place. You were wise to seek shelter inside your manor house, and of course it would be foolish to sacrifice your men and perhaps your life and position for a usurper like the Baron."
Guys will also know, now that I think about it, Surius would not know this, that the reason they lost was because they supported, or her family supported, you don't actually know how old she is, but she supported, her family supported the Barkans.
Oh,
Against the Mithrans.
the
And
Barkans.
so she was replaced, although they managed to keep quite a few sort of monetary sources and holdings. They did not get to keep the barony.
Well, that's juicy. Zacharias, we know, of course, of the ancient history of your family, Baroness, and perhaps you would be happy to know that we represent a power that your family once treated with great respect. He assumes this at least, if you support the Barkans, you know. So.
Will be no answer for a little bit. The response. That is true. I am the rightful Duchess of Devrin. That is deposed by damned Darien usurpers. You are not alone. Who might your companions be?
Zacharias, effectively floats to the side a bit and makes a generous guest? No? What do you call it? Like gesture. That's what you call it. Towards the rest of the party.
Cash will just look over there. I'm Cash, and that's it. She'll be quite annoyed with this.
Kyron will shout, "Some people who are looking for a reason not to kill every one of you."
I myself are arch ignomous Zurius Ravenheart. This was once as well a town I loved to dwell in until the Mithrans caused problems.
And then we kill the cardinal.
And our final companion would be... Zurius gestures forward to Marcus.
I keep thinking I'm on push to talk, so I've introduced myself like 3 times when no one was talking, muting myself every time.
Good job.
And I am Marcus of House Vestromo.
May I come inside?
Yeah, you should probably ask that.
I mean, may we come in to parley? I'm sure if you have the troops that you say you do, then we will be under good guard. I promise we won't set the place alight.
Knight's honor, right?
What's it about? If I have all of your words that you will not try to steal my silverware, then perhaps you can come in.
Zacharias laughs. Oh, perish the thought, Baroness. We are no common thieves.
We don't care about your silverware.
I have no need for silverware. If I want some, I will just steal some off the bugbears.
I don't even need cutlery.
Knight's honor. I swear that your silverware is safe from me.
Oh.
Few guards come out the door.
Yay.
And open it slightly, gesturing for you to inside. It is sort of well lit. It looks like a nice place. Yes, you do. They of course remove the barricade just enough for you to actually enter comfortably.
Do they react to Cash being a drow?
They look at her, but they don't seem to really care much.
I'm having problems with my
a
token
woman.
again. Oh, there we go.
As you enter, a rather stunningly beautiful woman, seeming very young and very old at the same time. Sort of the wisdom of age, the experience of age, but the physical stature of someone in their mid-20s. She sort of walks towards you with a swagger, smiling seductively, and seeming very very amused, as if her day has just gotten a little bit better. She walks towards you.
Well,
and sort
Cash
of,
Day got better too.
curtsies, almost ironically. Says, would you mind a cup of tea?
Zacharias smiles. Would be lovely.
Yes, please. Cash will be suddenly very nice.
She nods as she walks. And sort of flicks her wrist as the guards quickly move up and re-barricade the door. Close it. Says, you can never be too sure these days. Some rather rude guests have come knocking.
I noticed the corpses.
Frowns. I dislike greenskins.
Perfectly understandable.
Who doesn't?
Yes, exactly. We make
Quiet, blue skin. No.
Shut up,
I'm
vampire.
just kidding.
What?
Hey,
They're
now.
so uncivilized.
What are you talking about? I am
They
a
are all- they are always-
Suppose people of some stature might have such use for crude tools, but it simply seems hard to understand from my perspective.
Sakurai smiles. Oh, the creatures are indeed crude tools, as you say, Baroness. They are a sledgehammer wielded against the Mithrans, nothing more. When it comes to any sort of finesse, they are woefully lacking. Which is why, as lords, we tend to inspect some of the environs where they, well, swarm, to see if there is actually anything useful there. A bugbear wouldn't recognize anything useful if it was served on a silver platform.
Admittedly, that silver platter they probably stole.
Yes.
Sort of arranges a table over here.
Nope.
No, that's my chair.
That's your share? Is
Yeah,
it here
that's
then?
my chair.
Okay.
Thank you, Baroness.
She sits down and sort of nods, claps her hand and says, I was just about to have a cup myself.
How lovely.
Now, Marcus, come over here to this table, please.
Or stay where you are.
He's stealing the silverware.
Is Chloe
Don't
allowed
look
to...
in my pockets.
She invited us all in.
Steals
So
sort of a look at Cash and says, oh my, I can never get quite that color by the sun itself myself. You can consider yourself very lucky, my lady.
Well, thank you. You're quite dashing yourself, I must say.
She nods. This is some things he hears a lot.
Clearly.
The
Clearly,
soldier
I
comes in
understand
his armor and everything, but with a rather unique, rather beautiful teapot.
Hmm.
Yeah. That he sets up with some scalding hot tea and brings up some cups for all of you. She looks around. Do you care for a piece of cake?
Sure, my lady.
Zacharias makes a motion that he will regrettably and tactfully say no to the cake, but he will enjoy some tea.
Marcus will also respectfully decline, saying that that kind of food doesn't sit with him well.
He's on, he's on a special
Putting
diet.
special emphasis on the words "that kind."
Aaron will just frown and then ask if he has anything more meaty.
Some
She will
afternoon
ask
meat.
him whatever he what he wants. She has some salted pork.
Sure, bring me all of that.
She nods and asks the guard to bring the lords and ladies some cake and all of the salted pork. He doesn't really seem to be fazed by any of you. She's even rather curious.
Well, it's courtesy, It's she's a noble lady. She's not being faced by anything, outwardly at least.
A few guards come out here with a lot of salt pork. Seem to be very just taken up for Kyron, pile it on the table, and then a very nice sort of cake holder, porcelain with what seems to be some pie, blueberry pie.
Mm.
Oh, blueberry.
There's the tea. They bow and they leave as she waves them away. So, excellent boys. They've been trained very well.
Zacharias looks at them and says, "Oh yes, I must say, impressive work, Baroness. Good help is hard to find. We have discovered over the years."
Yes, I've known them since they were boys.
Zacharias nods. That is the way to do it. We have a similar initiative going.
Entrepreneurs. So, might I ask then, if it's not too prying, what are you doing in the city here? It seems as if, well, I would assume that you are then the leaders of this here rabble who have come to my doorstep.
Well, we are certainly in a position to command such rabble if we so choose. The leader of this particular horde is not us, you see. We come from a different group, let's say. he smiles. Our little organization, our little alliance here is called the Whispering Lords. We have traveled far and wide over the kingdom doing many sorts of business. We are quite the group, if I do say so myself. He sort of smiles towards the Baroness. If ever you wanted a daemon summoned, or a knight captain killed, or perhaps just a veil destroyed, he smiles, then we could certainly assist. He does this, like, again, slowly, as he does, using, like, his cantrips and stuff to sort of... to illustrate, exactly. The things before. Also trying to very much to exude like this air of like basically he wants to be perceived as like a smiling snake towards her, you know. It's he's currently very nice and very polite, but in a moment's notice he could like snap and probably like destroy the whole building if he so chooses.
Sorius finds no poison in any of it.
Very well. Is there to be amused and eat?
Cash will be very neat with her.
Will he eat
drinking and
salted
eating.
pork, or will he eat blueberry pie?
He
both.
would drink tea and have the blueberry pie.
Right, it is quite delicious. Very well made, sort of a nice crust. Especially.
The salted pork, I'll leave to Kyron.
Cash will have some tea and blueberry pie too.
Zacharias will just have tea.
Oh, you better leave all the salted pork to Kyron.
It's a nice sort of mixed berries tea. Nothing too special, but sort of in a way conventional, local.
Sure.
I must thank you again for this, Baroness. This is certainly better than the riffraff that we could find anywhere else in the city.
I would hope so. Anything else would be an insult to both of us. She smiles. Now, I believe you were here to parley, and you said you were quite the people to get stuff done. Does your list include reclaiming cities?
Zacharias snorts. Perhaps, Baroness. I am afraid that the city, as it currently is, well, it is in complete shatters and tatters and ruin. Blood and ashes everywhere. He shrugs. The city can perhaps be rebuilt in the future, but for now, the horde of the fire axe sits rather pretty on the ruins of it. Eating their way through it, and, well, defecating on the part they're not eating, I suppose. He shrugs. We are certainly people of power and people in position, however, and we are in town on a mission. We are looking for the old Baron, you see.
She sort of nods and smiles and says, "Oh, and what do you intend to do with him once you find him?"
We plan to completely obliterate him.
So first, I have a personal debt that must be helped.
Oh, this and
Serious
that.
and sort of nods and says, "I completely understand. I don't think he has made any friends in his time here. Not that would change my perspective." She sort of grows cold a little bit. He is the usurper to my family's heritage. I would very much enjoy seeing what you're about to do to him. I have waited a very long time for the chance to do so.
Zacharias smiles. That can perhaps be arranged, Baroness. Now, if I may be so bold, your own position here seems rather precarious. You have a handful of guards, this admittedly impressive manor house, yet there is an army of bugbears just outside your doorstep, and if they really got their mind to it, they would probably break down the doors and completely slaughter everyone inside. Now, we can help you with this problem. Certainly. We have people in town, powerful people, who could help you keep your lovely manor house here and, frankly, Baroness, save your life. Because you won't hold out here much longer, I should think. He takes a sip of tea. The question is, of course, why would we, the Whispering Lords, wish to help you? We subscribe to a doctrine that says competence and usefulness should not be wasted. So what help and use can you be to us, Baroness?
She looks to you and says, well, that depends on what you want. She looks at you.
Well, I suppose you could help us with many things. It sort of seems to think. We are always on the lookout for competent people to join in our little enterprise. Well, he sort of motions towards the others. It should be fairly clear by now, Baroness, that we are not Mithrans. Quite the opposite, in fact. We'd have different inclinations and different leanings, but we all have our reasons to fight tooth and nail to destroy the Mithrans and whatever usurpers they put in positions of power in this country. We are leading the change, as it were. And change is coming, Baroness. The question is, what side will you be on?
He smiles and sort of looks at you and says, "Most excellent. It seems that we are equal-minded. Although I do not enjoy my city being attacked in this manner, I suppose it is necessary to clean out before a new thing can be rebuilt. I suppose, then, when you're done with all this, that there will be a need to form a new area, a new future."
Indeed, Baroness, it will be, and to have competent and skilled people in such an organization is vital to us. That is why we're always on the lookout for such promising candidates.
And of course, when everything has to be rebuilt, only those who have served well will have the opportunity.
I looks at Sir, sort of admiring him. I suppose, yes. Now, there is much I can do to help you, as a matter of fact. I do not know you, and I suppose that in itself is both a boon and a weakness. None of you seem to be of noble birth here in Telangard, and my word will go some way to sway people towards you when that is necessary. Besides that, I have been to the capital. I have met and shook hands with the king on multiple occasions. If you ever need some information about that, I will be of great use. Smiles. Beyond that, of course, I have my family, my own goals, and my own resources to accomplish them. If I may be given such rights, then I will simply do my best to aid you. We are of one mind.
Right, seems to slowly
She
nod.
smiles, drinks a little of her tea.
Yes, connections are certainly important. We have built many such connections over the years. Deposed Barkans, some otherworldly entities, knightly orders, assassin guilds. Sakurai sort of waves a hand over all of this. And to have someone of a more noble birth with the proper mindset and competence to accomplish it would be of interest to us, certainly.
Connection is always important. To be able to know, or to be able to know, to be able to speak is one of the greatest talents you can have.
Yes, we do. I do confess that we are in a bit of lacking when it comes to people working for us with the proper social graces. He smiles towards the Baroness.
This man says, "Why, I have managed to navigate the capital of this great country," he says, sarcastically, "all the while maintaining my inherited beliefs and ethical spirit of progress."
Grace smiles. That sounds most excellent to us, Baroness. I must, though, ask you, the work we do and the work we require can be upsetting to some people. It would be good to know that you have the fortitude to persevere in your supposed future duties. He smiles. We do run an efficient crew, but sometimes people need to be swept away. They stand in the way of progress, as you say. And we do believe, as I said before, strength and competence is what really counts. The weak cannot stand in our way in this. The Mithrans, with their mewling philosophy of helping the common man and such, are hindrances. Sort of looking at her intently as he says this. In short, Baroness, I trust you would have no trouble with, breaking the Mithran law.
She sort of first frowns, and then she kind of almost cracks up a little bit as she can't keep a straight face. And she says, "Oh, my dear, if they knew what I had done, I would be burning at a stake, and have been burned at a stake for years." She smiles.
Oh,
If they only knew, I would be dead long ago. They're fools and weaklings, and they do not know anything. My ancestors were completely correct in backing the Barkans, and I would do so again in their place.
oh, burned at the stake. It sounds like we have something in common.
By the way, does Marcus and Asurius have their Asmodean symbols visible?
Well, actually, Zurus right now would have his Phoenix symbol visible. However, it is certainly true that if you reverse it, it does have the symbol on the other side. So
He will slowly do that for effect.
yeah, so Zurus will slowly he'll reverse the Phoenix to show the Asmodean cross on the Asmodean star on the other side.
Marcus simply doesn't care. His has been out the whole time. He pretty much only puts it away now when we need to go in disguise and do secret
Neither
stuff.
her nor the guards seem to have taken... I mean, they've looked, but they haven't taken any hostile affairs. He's admired it a few times. Smiling, almost as if she's dying to tell everything she knows.
Yeah.
I like this woman.
Yes, I do.
She
Yeah.
pleases me
Oh.
greatly.
Says Kara with mouthful of pork.
But what you have said has certainly intrigued me, Baroness, Azurus says as he filled up a glass of water.
He smiles. Oh, I hoped it would. I was rather hooking for your attention.
Oh my.
Azurus will drink from his glass, but maybe you can see a smile.
He smiles at him.
Then I have a proposition for you, Baroness. Work for us, dedicate yourself to our cause, and in return, we promise that you will have a position of prominence, power, and that your holdings in your city, or whatever remains of them, will remain secure.
She looks at Zacharias. And if, when we have succeeded and the Mithrans are on the run or dead, when the Darians have been exterminated to the man, and my city is ready to be rebuilt, will I be the one allowed to do so? Will I finally be able to reclaim what is mine by right? What was taken from me?
So Zacharias looks over to the others, see if anyone is sort of dissenting in this.
No, that's cool.
And then,
Azurus seemed to have a nice smirk on his face about this.
and I guess Karen's just eating pork.
Well, he is listening, but
Okay.
not as much.
Then Zacharias will say, well, in the presence of our holy man of Asmodeus, I do so swear, Baroness. Once our mission, our great task is completed, the city is yours. So promises the Whispering Lords.
So,
Yeah, she nods and sort of nods her head and says, "Then I will give you all the aid that I can." Miles, it is truly a good day to meet you, all my lords. I guess I will consider you nobles by conquest.
A fitting viewpoint, I think.
As it stands, one way to be the ruler is to just to be more powerful than the last.
I will not ask to your plans, and you need not inquire about mine. He smiles. I will, of course, do anything I can to aid you. I have some agents left. He sort of looks around, although most of my wealth was taken away in this surprise attack. I was fortified here with the most important things. The things I could not continue living without. He smiles. Now, I suppose, how long are you in the city?
For roughly 2 more weeks.
John say, then, I suppose once you leave, will the Horde leave with you, or should I leave with you?
I think it is safer. It depends really what we are going. We have many plans in motion for now, Baroness. We might need to go to some place where you simply cannot easily follow, but you have my word that we will, in any case, see to it that you do not need to fear for your life. You have sworn yourself to us in our cause, and thus you are under our protection.
Yes, and you are under mine.
It would be a pleasure with your aid.
Manikai, do you think Marcus maybe has enough information to be reasonably confident in his guess that I mentioned to you?
He doesn't see anything that would give him. Well, really, he seems young and old at the same time.